Okay, we're going to look at the Riffin Index, that is the Russell Financial Index. See if we can get an idea of what's going on in one of the sectors that has really been lagging the markets lately, and one that cost the S&P a good bit of the losses that took place today. Let's take a look at this chart, and this is being brought to you by freechartvideos.com. And this video is for educational purposes only, not investment advice. I'm not a licensed professional. I'm just a guy that draws lines on charts. So let's look at the Riffin Index and IYF. We're going to make this real short and sweet. You can see the Riffin Index for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9.5 months. This is such a clear pattern. You can see this extremely well-defined neckline, which I'm going to make purple, which is kind of my color for necklines. And boy, Riffin just couldn't get over roughly that 800 for the longest time. Then it broke out last week. And now it's in the process of pulling back. Of course, that pullback was pretty nasty. It felt really severe today when you were watching it, and particularly if you're long in a 3x financial ETF like I am, FAS. So you look at this and you go, man, the wheels are just coming off the wagon. But you need to look at this chart and remind yourself that this was hard resistance for a half year, almost. Now that's broken. The breakout was unquestionable, and now the pullback. So why did I hold? Well, sometimes that breakout will go ahead and run up in much like it ran over here. Sometimes they'll just go and hit the target right away. And I figured if that's the case, I'll sell. But if that's not the case, then it comes back to the neckline. I've got some cash I may add. Where's it going to go? Well, if the double bottom does what double bottoms do, you get the depth of it. I think that's pretty accurate. That fits that bottom and it fits that bottom. And you add this on, and that takes the Riffin Index up just shy of 900. Let's see if IYF looks the same. I bet you didn't even know I switched charts. The only difference is IYF has this additional line in it that is the orange line. By the way, IYF points to 60 in its chart. Now, be honest with you, if it gets there, you need to be on the watch for a potential double top effect of hitting some resistance up here. But bear in mind also that the Dow and NASDAQ, I believe, I'm going by memory here, have already surpassed those April highs. And it's really been the banks that have been lagging. But look at just look at that hard line. I mean, that's almost unbelievable to look at when you consider that this is an index fund with a bunch of banks and insurance companies and title insurance, all kinds of financial services make up IYF and Riffin. That's just amazing that somebody absolutely had this stopped dead at 54 until that breakout. So I'm thinking this is going to maybe pull back a little more and then head back up to some substantial gains. And here's your bigger picture. IYF from late 2007. This is the top of the bull market. Well, actually, financials peaked just before that. But for our purposes, this is the line that gives you a clear line of sight. I'm not quite sure what the story was on this day right here. I'm not worried about that so much. I'm following the general form of this chart. That doesn't bother me. You'll look and you'll see there is a green line up here. If you're wondering what that is the target from this big inverted head and shoulders that bottomed out on March 9, 2009. When will that hit? It could be years. It could be a year, year and a half, 2 years. I believe it eventually will. But right now, all I'm expecting out of this is to see the small, let me go back to that 4-hour chart. What I'm expecting out of it right now is just to see this little tiny pattern work out, taking this up to 60. That should take fast on up north of 30, and it'll be a nice gain. So again, hard support now that hard resistance is broken, maybe a little bit more downside, and then it should turn back up. I hope you get something out of these videos. I do them every day, 1, 2, sometimes 3. They're free of charge. All I ask is that you tell your friends and you generate a little bit of traffic at the website at freechartvideos.com. I'm just trying to build this up. It's been less than a month, and I'm getting, 300 or 400 unique visits per day. So it's going well, but it needs to go better. And I think it will once people start to realize that some of these old chart techniques actually work. Hope you guys have a good day in the markets tomorrow. Better than what you might have had today, unless you were lucky to be short today. I would advise thinking about covering, because this is a bull market.